Number 10. Hilary Swank. After being fired from 90210, Hilary Swank was considering quitting acting when she heard about the role for Brandon Teena in Boys Don't Cry. The movie was based off of a true story about a young transgender man who was assaulted and murdered in Nebraska in 1993. She took a month to prepare for the audition. She bound her breasts down, stuffed her underwear with a sock, cut her hair short, spoke in a deeper voice, and started going by the name James. She introduced herself to her neighbors as Hilary's brother, and she wore her husband's clothes. She showed up for the audition in character, and obviously, she got the part. She continued to stay in character on and off set until filming was over. Her dedication to the role paid off in the form of an Oscar win for Best Actress. Number 9. Rooney Mara. Rooney Mara is an actress best known for her petite frame, but few really considered how she got into the character of Elizabeth Salander. Mara was the 4th actress considered for the role, after Natalie Portman, Scarlett Johansson, and Jennifer Lawrence. Before being cast in this role, Mara didn't even have ear piercings. She decided against using fake piercings for her character because she wanted to truly become her character, not unlike the others on this list. She pierced her ears, eyebrow, nose, lip, and even her right nipple in order to properly portray her role as Elizabeth Salander. She said that this helped her to remain in character because she was always in costume, even while she was naked. After the filming ended, Mara took out all of the piercings except for the one on her nipple, saying that in case she is cast in a sequel, she never wants to get that redone. Number 8. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is better known for his strange voices, over-the-top expressions, and insane body movements than he is for method acting. But he earned the title of method actor on the set of Man on the Moon, while portraying Andy Kaufman. Carrey refused to respond to his own name, insisting that the cast and crew call him either Andy or Tony, Andy's alter ego. He was even credited as Tony Clifton, rather than as Jim Carrey. He kept cheese in his pockets to give himself a nasty odor, was rude to everyone that he talked to on set, and even started his own feud with wrestler Jerry Lawler, replicating Kaufman's relationship with Lawler. Carrey begged Lawler to put him in the hold that had put Kaufman in the hospital for 3 days, even after the insurance company forbade them from doing so. Obviously, Lawler refused, which angered Carrey to the point where he spat in Lawler's face, and the two broke out in a fight. This resulted in Lawler being fired from the film and then rehired after Carrey had calmed down. Lawler then took advantage of the recreation of his interview with Kaufman to slap Carrey right in the face. So, I guess, in a way, Carrey got to really be Kaufman, at least for a painful second. Number 7. Val Kilmer. After getting the part of Jim Morrison, Val Kilmer decided that he didn't want to portray the late singer so much as he wanted to become him. Like every other actor on this list, Kilmer went above and beyond in his role preparation. He started visiting Morrison's favorite hangouts in Hollywood and even wearing Morrison's clothes for almost a year before filming. During this time, Kilmer also trained himself to sound like Morrison, working until his voice was indistinguishable from the real Morrison. At one point, the crew even brought the remaining members of the band to a recording studio to listen to the Doors songs, some of which were sung by Kilmer and others by Morrison. They also had the members try to guess who was singing. Kilmer did such a good job, the band guessed wrong 80% of the time. They did the same thing in the movie. During the close-up shots, they have clips of Kilmer singing, and during the long-distance shots, they have clips of Morrison singing. Number 6. Heath Ledger. After being cast as the infamous Batman villain the Joker, Heath Ledger took some time to get into character of what he referred to as a psychopathic, mass-murdering, schizophrenic clown with zero empathy. He left his family and rented a room in a hotel where he, for over a month, spent his days perfecting his voice, laugh, and mannerisms for the role. During this time, he also kept a journal and reportedly slept around 2 hours a day. Ever notice how he constantly licks his lips throughout the movie? This was actually a bad habit of Ledger's from before filming, which was intensified by his character development. The actor also reported that in order to get the right sound for his character, he needed to keep his lips wet. Ledger started suffering from insomnia and was prescribed sleeping pills by his doctor, which he took. His health continued to decline as filming progressed, and by the time he was finished with the Joker and had moved on to his next and final role as an actor, he was suffering from chronic insomnia, pneumonia, and exhaustion. He was later found dead from what is believed to have been an accidental overdose on his sleeping pills in his apartment at the age of 28. Later on, reporters found the journal he kept while he was staying in the hotel. It was filled with a variety of things, from old Batman comic clippings to playing cards to pictures from A Clockwork Orange. Number 5. Adrien Brody. Based on the memoirs of actual events, the pianist depicts the life of Jewish pianist Władysław Spilsman and his survival of the Holocaust. 29-year-old Adrien Brody was cast in the lead role, weighing 161 pounds when filming started. Brody changed his eating habits in order to lose 31 pounds throughout filming, weighing a whopping 130 pounds by the end in order to look the part. But losing weight wasn't the only thing Brody did for this role. In order to get into character and really feel what Spilsman felt, Brody sold his car and his apartment, got rid of his phone, and moved to Europe, where he lived for 2 months with only 2 bags and his piano keyboard. Speaking of his keyboard, the actor also didn't really know how to play piano before taking his role. Brody practiced for 4 hours every day until he was ready to play the music presented to him on set. Every scene where you see him at a piano, that's actually him playing and not just music with him moving his hands over the keys. All of his efforts paid off in the end and made him the first person under 30 years old to win an Oscar, which, I think we can all agree he definitely deserved. Number 4. Christian Bale. Christian Bale has never had any problems gaining or losing weight for a movie role, but his dedication to The Machinist blew all of his previous efforts out of the water. At the start of the filming process, Bale weighed around 173 pounds, which is around the average for a 6-foot-tall male. While writing the script, Scott Cosar decided on the weight loss based on what he could achieve at his own height of 5'6". After Bale was cast, he refused to let Cosar make adjustments for the 6-inch difference in their height, saying he wanted to see if he could make the weights outlined for his character in the script. Bale met with a dietitian once at the beginning of his diet for the role, but quickly decided to lose the weight on his own. His diet consisted of 1 apple and 1 can of tuna daily. He dropped a whopping 63 pounds, weighing 110 pounds at his lightest, proudly displaying his actual weights on the wall in the movie. Despite his wishes to drop another 10 pounds, the film crew prevented him from doing so out of concern for his health. After finishing The Machinist, Bale was cast as Bruce Wayne in the Batman Begins movie, which came out 1 year later. He gained back about 100 pounds in 6 months after filming for the role. When he was told that he had become too large for the part of Batman, he lost another 20 pounds, weighing around 200 pounds for Batman Begins. Number 3. Marlon Brando. Often titled the pioneer of method acting, Marlon Brando was one of the first actors in film history to use this practice to get into character. He used a method called Stanislavski's system, which required him to use his own personal experiences to understand and portray his characters. If he didn't have the necessary experiences to bring life to one of his characters, like most other people on this list, he would go out and get those experiences himself. It all started with his first film, The Men, where he played a paraplegic war veteran. He spent weeks in a hospital going through the same therapy his character would have, and learning how to use a wheelchair. The crew were worried about him during rehearsals, however, because he would mumble his lines and rarely interacted with his co-stars. But once the cameras were on, Brando played his character so well that he received a standing ovation from the crew at the end of the scene. Brando rarely memorized his lines from his scripts, deciding instead to improvise as his characters. His acting methods were reportedly very difficult to deal with on set, and he had a reputation for being a hard person to work with. But everything always ended well when Brando was in front of the camera. Number 2. Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro is well known for his intense method acting earlier on in his career, and it's no wonder that he made the top 3 on our list. Starting off with his role of Vito Corleone in The Godfather 2, De Niro lived in Sicily for a few months before filming started. While there, he learned the language and perfected several different accents, much to his Italian voice coach's surprise, in order to properly portray his character. This dedication won him his first Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. Next came Taxi Driver. For this movie, De Niro actually got his taxi license and would work 12-hour shifts, driving a taxi through New York on his breaks from the set. He even worked with the US military to properly learn how to shoot a gun. He also did a lot of research on psychopaths to get a better understanding of his character. Next came Raging Bull, which won him his Oscar for Best Actor. De Niro worked with Jake LaMotta, the man he was portraying in the movie, to learn how to box properly and even won 3 of his matches that he fought during filming. He also lived with co-star Joe Pesci for 3 months before filming started to imitate the relationship their characters had in the movie. During production, however, they had to take a break as De Niro started having health problems from gaining weight instead of using prosthetics and cosmetics. And finally, for Cape Fear, De Niro refused to wear fake teeth and instead shocked his castmates by paying to have his real teeth ground down. Number 1. Daniel Day-Lewis. Often referred to as the English Robert De Niro, Daniel Day-Lewis has made quite a name for himself as a method actor, going to vast extremes for most, if not all of his movie roles. He's often set apart from other method actors because of the unique intensity and passion he brings to every role that he plays. He spent 7 months preparing to play President Lincoln, during which he would text co-star Sally Field in character and expect replies in the language of the time. She reported that it was pretty difficult to do, but it was entertaining. Day-Lewis also insisted to be referred to as Mr. President at all times on set and would not allow anyone to speak to him in a British accent to prevent them from interfering with his American accent. While filming The Crucible, Day-Lewis actually lived on the set and built his own house, only using tools that the Puritans would have had available to them in that time period. The set did not have running water or electricity, and Day-Lewis refused to bathe regularly during filming because he wanted to live as similarly to the character as possible. During filming of My Left Foot, he refused to leave his wheelchair. The crew had to spoon-feed him all of his meals, wheel him around, and carry him over obstacles. Day-Lewis even broke 2 of his ribs from slouching in the chair so much. While filming Gangs of New York, Day-Lewis got pneumonia from refusing to wear a heavier jacket, and he even had a British butcher come in on set to teach him how to properly cut meat. Considering all that he puts himself through for each of his roles, there's no denying that he definitely deserves all 3 Oscars that he has won.